Hello and welcome to Pens, Paint and Whiskers. Now, today, I know this doesn't look like very much, looks like a very messy page in front of me, but today we're going to be not designing, but developing, making another OC, or at least a glimpse of you if you were following along and saw the video about my OCs that I have already made and designs for them. One in particular I want to focus a little bit more on. So today you're going to see, if I decide to develop an OC, what is the next part of the process. So yeah, I made little sort of sketches. I'll show them now. So there we are. So it is a he, or a they even. Yeah, he or they. And yeah. And I have ideas for... There's a reason why I have uploaded a uniform example here and a kind of body stripe version on this page. I have an idea. Just turn off that printer there. Yeah, so I have an idea on what exactly I want to showcase. So body stripes, body colours, and then like a little sort of flap of paper, and you see the uniform, something like that. So this is a Ohuhu A4 Sketchbook in 200 GSM. I've tried this with marker, and yes, it does bleed through a small bit. What I'm also going to do today is I'm also going to show you guys, hopefully it works, but my little Derwent brush pen, a water brush pen I should say, and how that works, and how we could erase without using an eraser, so to speak. So this little uniform here and the other one, this sketch here, they were all made in my Derwent light wash pencil. And as demonstrated before, maybe not on the screen, but it is a pencil that you sketch in. And if you go over it in a watercolour medium, it will rub away and you'll be left with knotting on the page. Then I inked in a Unipin Fineliner brush nib in a light grey. So now I'm going to show you what I would do to wash away these sort of, maybe you can see them, these sort of light pencils. So now hopefully this works. I keep saying that, and if I say it again it probably won't work, but we won't say that. This is a what's called a water brush pen. It's like a portable little jar of water with a brush on the end. They usually come about in travelling watercolour sets, and you fill them up with water and you squeeze them, and yeah, some water comes out. And then I have, this is a bigger version of it. I'm not sure where or what brand or where I got this, but handy too. And then I have a little cloth or a napkin for wiping away excess water. And yeah, so I'm going to give it a go, and I have my coffee here ready. So that fine liner, the brush, the Unipin Fineliner, it advertises itself as being waterproof and fade proof. I might take you guys up higher. So I'm just going to put it to the test, because I have never tried it fully yet, whether it is fully waterproof or not. So currently I'm doing that, and I don't know. Is it? But I don't have any fear currently because this little fella here is going to be painted, so he's going to have maybe markers over him when this page dries. And I'll try the bigger brush. So what I'm doing is loading it with water and hoping that the pen remains and it doesn't fur or blur out any details. And indeed it doesn't seem to be. It just seems to fade a little tiny bit, so if you're going to try this technique, please be aware of that. And when I am mopping up excess water, I'm not wiping off to any particular side because I don't want to smudge just in case. What I'm doing here is I'm just dabbing away. And yeah, so the cloth does take up a little bit of scruffiness or dirt. Now what I've noticed is it doesn't take away all of the Derwent light wash. I don't know if you can see this on film, but there is some pencil strokes still remaining. But if I go over them with a smaller Derwent water brush, it does lift them. They just need a little bit more time and more sort of, I suppose you'd say in the business, elbow grease. Hopefully you're able to make out these little details. But in my prior video, so I have one in my OCs playlist, I was designing an OC. I came up with an idea for one that should have quite interesting facial stripes. And yeah, so I designed them and I was really happy with them, and now I want to sort of develop one character in question. I'm going to do that here and just take you through the process and maybe think about what I was planning or what I was wanting for this this creature. So I had, if you can see here, I had originally designed it. The sun might be getting in the way a little bit. Yeah, so I had designed the little guy here to have facial stripes. He does have facial stripes. I was thinking about him as a I came up with ideas. One was a police officer, one was a cardinal priest, another was a spy, and the fourth one was this little fella here. So he was part of an idea I had called a Sealy battalion. They're like a military force from the 1700s, and all made up of mythological creatures. This guy is, what would you say, the newest recruit, and I still have to work out what exactly he is, or they are, but I like the idea that I have to think about very carefully on what I'm going to say next on account of YouTube, but I was researching and I like the idea that they could be intuitive, or their powers could be intuitive powers. So he could have the power of known, will a particular skirmish end in victory or in blood, so to speak? And will they be victorious, or will a seam in their world, will it spill forth more enemies, and where, and if they go to fight them, who will be injured? Interesting sort of nuggets of information that I would imagine his comrades really appreciate. And I thought to do this, or to have this ability, It would be quite interesting if he could, I was reading up different ways to divine, and one of the ways is entrails, and without getting too into great detail, looking at certain bodily organs and seeing what patterns are in them. So then that led me to think that his body, or their body, should be well equipped for such a thing, and he should have quite dangerous, mean looking heel spurs. And if you can see little wrist spurs, yeah, for that particular purpose. And yeah, so I thought of that idea and I said I'll go with it and see where it leads me. Now, according to Wikipedia, I did an initial research on this particular kind of type of divining, and I believe, I'm probably wrong, or I may be wrong, I believe according to Wikipedia anyway, it's known as Arrtx, or being a Arrtx, I'm not sure. But I thought it was interesting anyway. So in this big portrait here, once the page dries, so be aware that this Ohuhu sketchbook, it does get a little bit crinkly. It is thick paper, but not necessarily thick for water. More suitable to markers, but that doesn't stop me trying everything I can possibly think of. So he's going to get a full body little portrait of what colours and what stripes he is. Yes, he does have wings, and yes, it is quite a challenge to think of clothing and how they would fit around a winged body. Same with headgear and little horns and a tail and breeches. So he's going to get a stripes and markings on him, and then on the other page, as I have shown, this uniform, I'm going to take this from this page and hopefully successfully on film attach it to this in the final steps, and so it will act like a window and will be particularly useful for yeah, spoiling or hiding an artwork, particularly as well, I have covered him, so yeah, and he's looking at his best, and that's a design, I might cover that, but that's a design I think makes me think that these creatures are egg layers. So yeah, definitely not human, and definitely not an average fairy creature. I'm not sure entirely what they are, but I like to think that they're quite bird-like, or reptilian even. And his wings are bat-like. So yeah, I'm going to go back, and hopefully this page has dried. Yeah, underneath it feels a little bit cold. But I'm going to go back and make his uniform, and hopefully clip that out on video and clip it in over his unclothed form. So he's going to be dressed well and quite interesting, and you'll see that hopefully next in this little small series. I'm not sure how many videos of this I will make, but I thought it would be interesting to go over the steps of making an OC and fashioning out what I want them to look like, and original ideas for them, put them down on paper. He hasn't got a name yet, so I'm open to suggestions. I'm also doing research myself, I'm also doing a colour plan for him. And I've done other colour plans, so this is nothing to do with him. But what I'm going to do is a colour plan for him, and I'm actually going to do it now. So I was thinking about what colours he should be. Now, I know with the uniform, it's going to be red. As I have previously explained in, if you were watching along with the OC video, the Sealy Battalion, I imagine they wear uniforms like our own civilization did in certain places in the 1700s, 1800s. So I thought red is the best colour. And, or maybe even a dark wine crimson. It might blend better with his skin. And then I'll explain what I'm doing to test out his facial stripes. So I plan to use, these are Ohuhus, of course. And yeah, so what I do for this is I'm not too precious with testing sheets. And I just planned a dark wine sort of colour. So that is R8. And I like to get a colour, a base colour and a shadow colour. Sometimes I'll do 3 colours per area, other times 2. I do think that's probably going to be the R8 and R7 I will go with, but there's no harm in bringing out other colours to test, and that is R3, and that's not very nice to me. I do not like that at all. No, no way, Jose, that's not going on him. So this, I'll note that later. It's the R8, R7. And for his skin colour, now another issue I found with the Ohuhus is they don't have a lot of varieties of red. If anyone asked me for suggestions on how to improve Ohuhu, I would say more red tones. Not that I use them very often, but slightly different red tones would be more appreciated. However, for his skin tone, I've been thinking, and I decided not to go with Ohuhu, but these Graphit markers, I believe they are a French brand. And I have a somewhat small, well, somewhat grown collection of them. So I decided to use them. And I want him to mirror his markings a little bit like that of a antelope, maybe. Even though he is not an antelope, you can certainly look to nature to get an idea on how you want a creature or a particular thing to look. No better inspiration than nature itself. So what I'm doing is I'm just laying down some colours, and I might not necessarily blend them. Well, actually I will, and see what they blend like. So dragging the pigment about. And yeah, I'm really happy with, I think that's a beautiful skin tone. So the Trio 10, so the very palest kind of camel, and then shadows for Trio 40, and then this maybe for the very darkest shadows if necessary. If not, I'm happy not to. For stripes and hair, I think I rarely choose black, and there is a good reason for many artists not choosing black. I think it darkens a work too much. I think it gives a lifeless coolness that you don't need in your work. So I choose really dark charcoal grey. As you can see, that's 9508 Graphit. I'm going to use that on horns and hair. And the pink, I like the idea that particular facial stripes have this nice sugary pink. Because I think in a feature of his species, so to speak, is having little patches that maybe blush, and they give off sort of maybe indications on what this little creature is feeling. So this pink spot here, for instance, say if he was angry or something, it might flush, or it might blush a darker colour or lighter, depending. So I like that idea too, so I decided to keep that. So I did a lot of planning with his colours, these in particular being his skin colours and skin tones. I really like those, and I'm really hoping they're going to go well with this R8, R7. So I've made a plan, done a sketch. Now I have the pen sketch here, and I have, yeah, a complete plan and sealed on the paper, so to speak, in how I'm going to make him. And I even have a colour experiment or little colour test on what colours I'm going to use. So hopefully in the next video you will see me placing those colours on his body, doing up the uniform, getting an idea, more ideas even on how he should be, how he should look, maybe even a background, and then maybe video 3, cutting out this separately and sticking it on his full portrait page. So yeah, if you like what you see, why not think of liking and subscribing and following along as I make another character. So stay tuned, and thank you very much for listening and watching.